Hey Booktube, it's Samantha, and for today's category, we are going to be talking about mutated creatures. Now, when I first thought of this category, I was thinking along the lines of Swamp Thing, or even those B-rated movies with like Sharknado or The Giant Ant, but what I came across is something quite different, and that is Parasite by Mira Grant. Now, this is a slightly futuristic world. It takes place in, I believe, 2037 or 2027. We're in a world where scientists, specifically this one company called Synogen, has mutated a specific kind of tapeworm, and the tapeworm helps people stay healthy. Like if you had an allergy to cats and dogs, the tapeworm takes care of it. You're no longer allergic. If you were suffering health problems, something with your digestion, it would take care of that. So we're following the main character, whose name is Sally, and Sally went through a really bad car accident about, I think it's 6 years prior to the current events. She was basically brain dead, and it was because of this new procedure with installing the tapeworm inside of her that she is alive and walking and breathing. But she doesn't remember any of her previous memories. She remembers nothing about her life before. And so she goes by Sal instead of Sally because she just doesn't identify with that person anymore. Her personality is completely different. The people she hangs out with is completely different. Just brand new person. She just looks the same. Sal has this tapeworm from Synogen, and she has to go in for regular routines on getting checked up and everything. But while she's trying to find herself in all of this, there's some weird sleeping sickness going on widespread throughout the country, and they're trying to figure out what is going on. It's really interesting. It's kinda zombie-ish, but without any flesh-eating stuff. Like, it doesn't ever get gory. There's some parts that really had me like on the edge of my seat of like, what is going to happen? There's some really intense scenes, but I will say that some of the story is a little predictable. So if you don't like being able to predict what's going to happen, like the very, very end, it's predictable. But there were some points leading up to it that really caught me off guard, really surprised me, and I really just enjoyed the ride. I didn't have any problem with this at all. I did listen to the audiobook, and it was amazing. The narration was perfect. So if you are into audiobooks, I would recommend listening to the audiobook of this one. I found it was really easy to get through. I really enjoyed listening to the narrator. It is the first book in a series, and I am planning on finishing the series, or at least continuing with the series. I would say, though, you could probably read this as a standalone. There's definitely some questions that aren't answered yet that are obviously going to be answered later on. But, I mean, it wraps itself up pretty well. So if you're really into the whole maybe like slight zombie thing, but you don't like the gore that usually comes with zombie books, I would recommend this one. I think it's that great in between. It definitely has you on the edge of your seat of what's going to happen, and I really just enjoyed this book.